Hello and welcome to the Quad Life. Well, a lot of what I do to maintain health is to use different equipment. So, part of my breathing is through well, all of my breathing is through the diaphragm pacemaker. And I have no control of my diaphragm. So, therefore, I'm unable to cough on my own. I can kind of simulate it by breathing in some extra air and doing that, and it's my version of coughing. But it doesn't quite clear my lungs very well. So therefore, what I do is called a chest percussion treatment, or a CPT. It's basically just a vibrating wand that we move up and down my chest, and it helps to move stuff around in my lungs and keep junk up. And then we turn me on my side and also do it again on my back. So that way we get the front and back of my lungs. And that combined with the turning helps quite a bit, and I usually don't have much trouble with lungs. However, getting the equipment is the problem now. I've done this treatment twice, every night for as long as I can remember. And for several years, I used something called a phlegm fighter. And that was a machine that worked well. But every few years, one of the cords had a problem with it usually, and had to go in and get it repaired. Well, one of those times, I'd say, 7, 8 years ago now, maybe? When I went to get my phlegm fighter replaced or repaired, the loaner I got was something new to me anyway, called a G5, I believe anyway. And it is a little bit different design, but it does the same thing. However, it's pretty well all wires and looks like a spaghetti mess of cord when it's all wrapped up. And because of this, it more commonly has trouble with the wires, that it doesn't get all power from the wall to the unit, that connections don't always stay good. And for the last about 5-6 months, I've had to get loaners to get mine replaced or fixed at least 4 times now. And it keeps going back in a cycle, back and forth. And to say the least, it's annoying. So I've looked at getting alternatives, but with new technology, there isn't much else available. So what is commonly used now is called a vest, and that you put on a vest, and it basically has air that is pumped in and out of it that kind of does a similar function in impacting the lungs and doing a vibration treatment, or as I call it, my nightly beating. However, with my diaphragm pacemaker wires, it goes right where the vest would go if I used it, and would potentially knock out my breathing. So therefore, I cannot use the vest. And I think that without turning, it wouldn't work for me as well either. So I asked my doctor about something else that could replace what I've been using that might work better. And the only thing that he could come up with was kind of a system that goes in your lungs, I guess you say. It would connect to a trach normally and pump in air and then exhale. But since I only have a trach button now instead of a full trach, then it won't work as easily, and I would have to do it with my mouth instead. And for one, that doesn't sound very pleasant. And I don't see doing it during the night when I'm sleeping like I do currently. So that means I'm stuck with my old system, and continuing to have it break down is likely. As I have said for many years, the people that design medical technology or equipment are not the ones who use it. I think that anyone, if they use this treatment for more than a few weeks even, that they could see that it is a poor design that doesn't work well and should not have maybe gone out. But that's just me from using years of different solutions. But for now, I am thankful for what I do have, and that it does help, at least when it works. And when they don't work, then that means my night nurses get to thump on my chest by hand, which gives them a workout but also makes their arms sore. So that is part of what dealing with the quad life is like, is trying to get a hold of equipment. And also a programming note here. If you follow me on Facebook, that channel will be going down pretty soon. Facebook is updating their policies that in order to verify that I guess you're an actual channel or live where you say, they are requiring you to download an app on your phone and then enable location finding. And one, I do have a smartphone, but I am not able to use it because they don't work with my mouse stick. So I do very minimal with my smartphone, and so therefore I don't want to download an app. And call me crazy, but I don't really care to have Facebook knowing exactly where I'm at all the time either. So because of that, the channel on Facebook, or the page, will be shutting down whenever Facebook says it can't be up anymore. Today is April 13, and this weekend I had trouble getting to it already. So I don't know if it'll be up by the time this video comes out later this week, but my guess is it will still be active until the beginning of May. For alternative, I have started a duplicate page on MeWe, and the link for that will be down below. Just look for it, and maybe can see you there. And another item, though, I learned is that when I was setting up the MeWe account, I looked for some old videos from this channel to share and kind of populate, and realized that YouTube has started doing some advertising on my older videos, which I did not authorize or even know was happening. For one thing, I cannot make any monetary or any income from this channel because it would cause problems with my other resources, and I wasn't aware even it was happening. So I will look for a solution from that. But if you get advertising on this channel, please let me know so I can maybe look on that video. And I need to see if I can shut that down, because if it continues, then, well, I'm going to have to look at moving away from YouTube as well, which I don't care to do. I roll with the punches. So that is what we're up to right now. Dealing with equipment and technology is something that is part of life, and it's what we work with. Right now in April, I'm being able to get out to schools again, and I just went to one last week. Talked with a bunch of second graders and got a lot of good questions from them, and probably about the time this is going out, I will have just talked to another school, so I'm thankful that I can get out again this year and talk with kids, and maybe an update here shortly. We'll talk about that. But for now, that is all for this entry, so thank you for watching, and goodbye from the Quad Life.